They say you die when you don't dream. Yeah. Guess I'm alive cause I still believe.
Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today in this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit more about my high school. So it has been 14 years since I graduated. I graduated in 2011. And I want to just talk about it because I went to a somewhat famous high school. If you're a basketball fan, called Oakhill Academy. And I just want to make this video discussing my point of view as far as being a student there and how different it is looking from the outside in, and kind of my point of view of being a student there, like I said. So I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to subscribe for more content like this. It tells me, it tells YouTube, it tells everybody that you want more content like this. Also, let me know in the comment section what other content you want from me, because really this channel isn't just for me doing what I want to do, but also it's for the community and kind of what you guys want to see from me, whether that's play a game, or game suggestions, or video ideas as far as like, you want me to react to something. But yeah, just let me know anything. No suggestion is stupid or anything like that. And I will make sure to read them all. That being said, please like and subscribe, like I said, but also if you want to see me live, it's still up in the air on when a specific time of day it's going to be, but we're going to work out the kinks, me and my girlfriend, and depending on how life goes, I applied for a job. I'm waiting to hear back from, so depending on that, it's probably looking more like later in the night, maybe around 7 or 8. But anyway, if you want to see me live, I'll be on Twitch, and that's twitch.tv/JLouis, and you can see my channel there. Please drop a follow. We're trying to get to affiliate status there. Right now we're at 29 followers, so I believe you need 50. So please go drop a follow if you can. If not, no big deal. But anyway, yeah, leave a comment, like I said, on what you guys want to see, and that's what we'll do. But hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. This wasn't necessarily like a planned thing, and I'm kind of just going off the cuff here, but this is a video I kind of always wanted to make and talk about. My experience with Oakhill Academy was a good one. I will say, and my mom can collaborate this, I wanted to go, but I didn't initially. And what I mean by that is, at the start of this whole process of me going back in 2009, it was more of like a pipe dream for me, because I'd seen the basketball team. For those of you who don't know, Oakhill Academy is a well-known high school basketball team. They're a national powerhouse, I would say. A lot of people in the basketball scene know them because of famous people, as far as NBA players like Carmelo Anthony, Kevin Durant went there. But many people don't know is Kevin Durant did not graduate from there. Oakhill Academy claims Kevin Durant, but he didn't graduate from there. He left and went back home to Maryland, and graduated from a high school there. But yeah, so anyway, they're well known in the basketball world. especially the high school basketball scene. So yeah, so my journey started with seeing them play on ESPN in 2008, I think it was. Um, yeah, I think it was a year before. It was a pretty quick process for me. So I seen them in 2008, which was my sophomore year of high school. And to say the least, my time as a high school student at the school I was at, the public school, was not very great. I was labeled kind of a troublemaker. Um, I really only had interest in one class, and that was history. Everything else, I was kind of just, I just went there. My brother ahead of me, he was 4 years older than me. He kind of set the tone at the school as just being, looking back at it, I don't think he was like a troublemaker, because without getting too personal, there were some deeper issues going on mentally, that were not diagnosed at the time, just because it wasn't like a normal thing back then, like it is now, where it's like, mental health is still far beyond, far, um, it's still not as mainstream as it should be. I think mental health is progressing, but I think a lot of people still, um, look at kids acting out, or doing certain things, and they just label them as like a bad person or a bad child, or something like that, when really it's probably like a deeper, rooted cause of why that's happening mentally, and we just don't give it the time of day anymore. But that's a different topic for a different, video or subject or whatever. But um just to kind of move forward a little bit in this conversation, so I've been meaning to stream the past couple days. I just didn't know what necessarily to stream. I posted like a video and a couple shorts on my YouTube, um but I just don't like, Call of Duty is fine, and it's a big part of, me and my friends' interactions with each other, um and everything like that. But I just wanted to see something different. Like, games haven't really necessarily been anything I've been interested in playing, really. So I'm trying to think of something different I can do on stream, because I do love streaming, regardless of if there's people in here or not. I just like talking. I think it's just an outlet for me to get some stuff out. But I've been struggling with hopping on live, um, mostly because I just haven't had the passion or motivation to stream on something, or stream something that I don't necessarily want to stream. Like, it's fine streaming Call of Duty, but I feel like it's just, I don't want to be in that realm of just like, oh, here's another Call of Duty stream and he's gonna try to get wins. Like, um, and quite frankly, I'm not that good at Call of Duty to just go out there and just, excuse my language, but fuck around and, um, do trick shots and, all this other stuff. Do like, get a win with only fists only. Like, I'm not that good to do that. I have an average, well, I don't know if it's average, but I have a 1.4 KD. That's pretty bad. I just go on there to interact with friends. I consider myself pretty good. I think the game infrastructure is pretty shit, and I think that makes me feel like I'm shit, but I'm really not. Um, but in reality, I mean, I'm not like that good. Like, I'm not Biffle. I'm not, Swag, or um, Christ, I'm the even Tim the Tatman, for Christ's sakes. But I was just trying to think of different things to do, and I've been watching like a different videos on like, uh what is it, like, people talking about their lives and where they started. And I got up this morning, me and my girlfriend were gonna go for a walk, um, at 5:30. We woke up late, so she had to go to work, and I was sitting there watching YouTube videos, and it came to me with the idea of, there's a lot of videos probably out there of Oak Hill basketball, and I know Oak Hill Academy has their own YouTube channel, and we're gonna watch a couple of their videos here today. Um, but unless I've like overlooked it or that it hasn't gotten a lot of views, and maybe I just haven't seen it, I've never seen like a video of somebody that necessarily went there um and talk about their experience well there, without the kind of advertisement like, hey, you should come to our school, we're the best, type of stuff. And just a disclaimer before I get into these videos and start talking about my experience, I want to let you guys know, even if I say something negative about my experience there, Oak Hill Academy changed my life for the better. I believe that wholeheartedly, and the reason I say that is because I think they got me. No, regardless of where I am in my life now, it got me out of the area that am currently in, but where I grew up, where a lot of people are just kind of. It's hard to say because I feel like a lot of areas may be like this, but I feel like in this area a lot of people are just like kind of what's the word I'm looking for, where it's just like self-absorbed maybe. A lot of them will go to like a concert or something, but other than like going out, like living outside of the area, like they're not cultured, I guess, in other aspects of life really. They're just kind of in this area, and this is where their parents lived, and this is where their grandparents lived, and this is where their grandparents lived, and this is where they're at. um and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think this area in particular is very shitty. um and that's kind of saying it mildly. And a lot of people are just like, if you don't like the area, just move out, and it's not as simple as that. But anyway, regardless, let's go back to Oak Hill Academy, because that's what this video is about. So Oak Hill Academy, like I said before, is a very well-known basketball program. In this video, I'm going to talk about not only my experience with the basketball program, but also with the school itself, because I feel like the school itself gets overlooked by the basketball program. And I don't think they get enough recognition, even though they've been around, for the exact work that they do, and just the overall greatness of what they do. Um, and that being said, let's get into like the first video. The first video is just like an aerial campus tour. I'm not sure if there's audio as far as like voice audio or not, but it just gives you kind of like the layout of Oak Hill and why it's so like successful. Um, and why some kids hate it. Like, it's not for everybody, and I will explain this to you guys the best way I can. um there's nothing around this place, okay? I'm not sure if these aerial campus tours are going to give you kind of like the vastness of the land around, but there's literally nothing around here. And the only way, like the closest mall or even like McDonald's or whatever, is literally like 30-minute drive away. And that might be over exaggerating, but either way, it's significant amount of time. And with no, at least when I went to school there, I'm not up to date with like their policies now. I can only talk on my experience when I was there. But when I was there, you couldn't have a car on campus, no matter if you were senior, junior, whatever. You couldn't have a car on campus. You lived on campus. We had, when I was there, we may have had 2 day students, but I'm pretty sure it was just one as far as I know. Um, and uh, everything around there is like a Christmas tree farm. Um, I don't know the exact number, but I can tell you that the population of the town, which is called Mouth of Wilson, Virginia, um, I can't tell you the exact population. I mean, I guess I can look it up right here, um, if they even tell me. But I will say that without the school in session, all right, so this says the population of Mouth of Wilson, Virginia, estimated 1,300 people. The median age of Mouth of Wilson is 50 years old. There's 575 households. One source states the median household income is $35,000. So yeah, like I said, not many people there. There's just not, and that 1,300 may be generous. But that being said, let's get into like this video, this aerial campus tour. Then I got so there's 4 videos I'm going to watch. There's a aerial campus tour. There's a commentary campus tour that it looks like 2 students did 9 years ago. This aerial one was from 5 years ago. And then from 10 years ago, there's a boys dorm campus tour that's posted on the Oakhill Academy YouTube. My Oakhill Academy is dorm life. And then the last video is more current, came out 4 months ago, and it's inside the high school that the most NBA players came from, which was Oakhill Academy. And this is by a pretty well-known YouTuber, All Hail Colin. He has 272 subscribers, blah blah blah. But this kind of shows what it is now, but it also, like, I know it's like more basketball-ish, where the other ones are just like of the school, so it kind of gives us best of both worlds here. All right, so this is the aerial campus tour. Sorry, I thought I accidentally clicked off of it. All right, so this is the aerial campus tour. As you can see, this is the sign when you first get there. I'll make sure my settings are correct. So this video sold, you can only go 720p, but that's all right. And this will just kind of give you a layout. Like I said, I don't know if there's any like audio as far as like talking or anything like that. But let's just get into this video. Again, the quality may not be the best, but you'll get the gist of it. So this is the main road going to the campus. Again, the main road. So to the left here, I just gotta turn it down a little bit on my end. To the left here, this is the main academic building. So this is like the chapel, where when I went there every morning, we went there. I think it's called the chapel. Either way, we met there every morning before school. Went over a little bit of things, and then they sent us to the schoolhouse, which is this smallish building in the back. There's an upstairs and a downstairs, I believe the basement. To the right here, this white building here, this is the church. So Oakhill Academy is a Baptist boarding school, and I believe to this day, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but when I was there every Sunday that school was in session, we had to go to church at this chapel here. Um, the reverend of this church is a teacher that teaches world religions in the school. Um, it's Reverend Doug Turnmeyer. He was he was very cool. Also probably the strongest man I've ever met in my life. Um, and I think he helped a lot of kids get comfortable with religion, get comfortable, with their own beliefs. And he was very good at understanding, because as far as Oak Hill goes, they have students from around the world go there. So they all have different cultures, different religions, different aspects of life. And I believe he was very good at kind of just not pushing. You know how some like religious people can just like try to push their religion on you. And although these kids were forced to go to church, um he never really sat there and was like, you're gonna be a Baptist now. Like, this is what it means to be a Baptist. This is what, when I took his classes my senior year, you could tell that he grasped and understood other religions, and he kind of like, you know, I'm not saying that like he's like out of the norm in this. Like, I know a lot of people that are reverends or whatever, um that don't push the religion, but like a lot of them do, right? Like, but anyway, I believe he was just very good at just not like making kids uncomfortable with the fact that they don't believe any like necessarily what he believed in, if that makes any sense. But anyway, this is when you first of all go in. So this is still that road. And what it's gonna do is it's gonna go by these two. The driveway to the church is gonna be like right here, and then it's gonna swing to the left, and there's gonna be the admin building dash cafeteria dash nurses station dash just a all-purpose building kind of on the right hand side. Yeah, right there. So this is the admin building. This is where the president is, the counselors, or sorry, not counselors, but the president's office is there. The dean's offices are there. The street's kind of blocking it, but like right here is the like cafeteria. I believe actually the caf stretched this whole top half. Okay, you guys gotta remember it was like 15 years ago, so I'm trying to remember. I believe the calf actually stretched this whole top half. But the entrance we always went into was like right here. But this is where we would park, and this door right here is where you would get like your meds in the morning, your vitamins if you took them. And this was kind of where we first parked. This was our first kind of like, hey, welcome to Oak Hill moment, was in this parking lot here. Yeah, see, these are stairs here. We'd go up there, and then the calf was like right here. But I believe, like I said, I believe it stretched this whole building. I was trying to see if it said the name. So this is what I was saying. This is the building, like I said, we would meet in the morning. I want to say like it's like it's like the theater auditorium, right? So it's like there's a stage up front. This is where they did most of their like I'm trying to think, like we didn't really have theater there, but this is where they did like most of their like award ceremonies, all that stuff was in this building here. So yeah, this is where we would meet every morning for our morning assembly. Just talk about what's going on throughout the week. They had these things called um like spirit weeks and stuff, like every school I think has them, so they would talk about that. They had these things called socials because it was a boarding prep school, um where you would, they had them different places, but most of the time they were like in the gym, so you'd go to like the gymnasium and kind of you know play basketball or just sit there with friends or whatever. But it was kind of just a way to socialize, you know uh people, and kind of, i don't I don't want to keep saying force, but it was forced by me. It was mandatory, so it was forced upon us to go. um but the benefits alongside of it were great. Like, some people I met there I wouldn't have met if I didn't go to these socials, and I don't think I would have evolved into like an outgoing type of person if I didn't go to these socials, because I was more of like, when I first got there. So so keep this in your mind. You're a 16, 17-year-old kid, um from Massachusetts, and your mom tells you, "Hey, we got an opportunity for you to go to this boarding prep school in Virginia, you know, 6, 7, 8 states away from your friends, everything you know and everything you've, grown up around." Um, so for me, without these socials and without like this aspect of this school, where you like everybody meets in the morning and everybody, goes to these socials and everybody goes to church, and even though I'm not religious to that aspect, it was still the fact that like everybody was around, everybody was doing the same thing. You weren't an outcast, you weren't like a um you know like, hey, this kid's just stayed in his room all day. Like, you were forced to do things out of your comfort zone that made you better, if that makes sense. um Without this aspect of it, all I would have done there, because I was so scared of meeting new people, was I know for a fact I would have done this. I would have stayed in my room. I would have played video games, potentially done my homework. That's something we'll talk about later. Um, but I wouldn't have been. I would have went to school and I would have went to church because they forced me, and then I would have went home. But if they didn't force me to go to church, I wouldn't have went there, and I wouldn't have met people from the community. So either way, like this part of it is annoying if you're a student there, because you're like, I don't want to go to the social today, but in the same breath, it helps you meet a lot of people that you wouldn't meet in general if you didn't do it. And we'll talk about this a little later, but as a junior, senior male in high school, um these, these socials at a boarding prep school were the only way that I was able to, outside of school setting, even though it was school regulated, but outside school setting, it was my only way to talk to girls, really. So, at that aspect of it, I was glad I went. All right, so back there. So this is new. I don't know what this is necessarily, but that's got to be somewhat new. When did this video come out? 5 years ago. So that's got to be new from the time I graduated. Um, but behind, so this is that chapel, the morning meeting chapel. So this right here is the schoolhouse. This is the school. Now clearly this is new. I haven't seen this. because I haven't been there in 14 years. But on top of, sorry, I forgot to mention, this is also the gymnasium. Okay. So keep in mind it is a gymnasium and a school in this building. And I believe back here too as part of school. But just keep that in mind if they show the gym in this video. If not, we'll see the gym later on. Yeah, this is a school. Yeah, right there. School. So this is the gym part, and this is the school. Gym, school. Gym, school. How small that is. Soccer fields, clearly. I mean, that's self-explanatory. All right, so this is an aerial view of that little area. Okay, so this right here was not there when I was there. So what was here when I was there was I believe, tennis court. I think there was 2 tennis courts here, maybe. Yeah. So right here was tennis courts. I don't know. I mean, clearly they took them out. I don't know if they just like moved them somewhere else or they just got rid of them. I will say when I was in school, they weren't used at all. So that could have been why. Now, beautiful shot here, but this is I want to say this is the back of the senior boys dorm when I was there. Keep that in mind. So this was the back of the senior boys dorm. See, this is the schoolhouse in the back. So you go up this little hill, and then this was Williamsbury dormitory. All right, so this got a facelift. This all looks different for the most part. This building back here was not there. I mean, it was there, but it was a different building. It was Ingram Hall, I believe. I could be wrong with the name there. It's been forever, but this was the first dorm I was actually in, I believe. And I remember it to this day because it was mostly underclassmen that were there. And I moved in there because I was having issues at the time with my roommate. And they weren't like issues that like sorry, they weren't like issues like I was fighting with him. It was the issue of, and to this day I regret doing this, but this was an issue with, he was from Korea and I didn't, I just didn't vibe with him at all. It wasn't like anything he did or anything, but it was fairly quick too. I didn't really give it a shot. And funniest part is when we ended up being seniors and we went to the senior dorm, he was actually a very good friend of mine. And we we played ping pong together, we watched games. He ended up being the manager of the basketball team. Like it was just funny how everything worked out. But yeah, I requested a move, and I moved out of, I believe it was this dorm here initially. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where this is actually on the school. Now this kind of looks familiar. But either way, that's my short story. Yeah, I don't know where that is. Let's see if anything looks familiar. Ah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so that was not what I was talking about. This house here. So this is the senior dorm here. This house here was the house I moved into. I say house, a dorm I moved into. It was more of a house setting. There was a bunch of younger classmen. Their dorm parent, Mr. Fletcher, I believe was his name, but I'm sorry I forgot his name, but I'll never forget him as a person. He was the nicest man I've ever met in my life, and I believe we took advantage of him quite a bit, because he would do our like laundry, like he would it's just, I mean, it's weird looking back at now, but he was just a nice, genuine person. And he cared about the kids. He cared about everybody. And he really made sure that we, succeeded there. This is the dorm I moved out of. This is the Ingram Hall. This is the one I was thinking of. Yeah. There's Ingram Hall right here. There's the basketball court. If the ball went over this fence, you were pretty much fucked. Yeah. I can't think of the name of that dorm though. This one here. This is Williamsbury. Aha. So now we're getting into the nitty gritty here. So this is the senior boys dorm. This is the cafeteria. Follow me so far. This right here, you can barely see it beyond this tree, and they'll probably show it more later, is the president's house. Now, this is strategically placed here, in my opinion, because this big building right here, and if you take this president's house and just split it down the middle, right? This big building right here in the background, that is the girls' dorm. So, you have the president's house right in the middle of the boys' side and the girls' side. And if we went over there, we were in big trouble. And if they came over here, they were in big trouble. Unless it was for a social. So like I was saying at the start of this video, socials were your outlet to talk to the opposite sex. If that was something you wanted to do. I believe now this is the girls' dorm. Like I said, I don't know much about this side because I didn't go over there. Only for certain things. Now, this is the equestrian center. I did not get into the horse aspect of the school, but they do have horses there, and they did have equestrian. Now, if I could go back in time, I would focus less time on basketball because I knew that wasn't going to work out, and focus more on things like this, like equestrian. Because it's always fascinated me, horses. But these are two of the horses, little horsies. And blah, 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 visit Oakhill, but all right. So that was video number 1. Now we're going to move on to video number 2, which is going to have more of a commentary aspect because they're students talking about it. And yeah, so let's just get into it.
Hello, and welcome to Oakhill Academy here in Mouth of Wilson, Virginia.
So these are clearly two students.
A few minutes to show you around our campus.
My name is Josh. I'm a junior from Louisiana, and this is my second year here.
I'm Chase. I'm a freshman from Minnesota, and this is my first year here. One of the first things you'll see here on campus is that we have horses.
Behind us are one of the many pastures where our horses graze. We also have a very strong equestrian program, which we'll talk about later on the tour. One of the first things you'll notice when you come onto campus is that we have a church. This is Young's Chapel Baptist Church.
Young's
The
Chapel.
congregation of this church founded Oak Hill Academy in 1878.
Now, even though that we have a very diverse student body, it's still a tradition for everyone to attend church every Sunday with the local congregation.
All right, so hold on. Let me see. When was this video? 9 years ago. So this is pretty recent to when I graduated.
So here we are at the Dixon Garden in the very center of campus.
And this is a very popular hangout spot after school. And boys think they're kind of doing something cool because technically they're on girls' side. But since it's in front of the administration building, it's okay.
Yep.
So here, as you can see, I'm in this tree, which many generations of Oak Hill faculty kids and students have climbed in.
Yes,
It's
sir.
kind of a tradition. Personally, it's one of my favorite spots on campus. So this is a dining hall here at Oak Hill.
Now, the first thing you guys may notice is the uniforms that we had to wear, and these are true to today, I believe. We needed a polo that was Oak Hill brand. Most of the time, it was like what she's got on here. This was like the school issued one. What he has on here, if you bought this at the campus store, which I didn't see in the aerial shot, but they do have a campus store. If you bought one at the campus store, you could wear that as well. But these are the pants that I had to wear every day. They had these in this color as well. But most of the time, you just wore this shirt.
Oak Hill Academy. It is located in the very center of campus, which is a very easily accessible location.
We have 3 meals a day here, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And
Yeah.
The best thing about it is that
This is the best food I've ever had as far as a school goes. And that includes college, anything. This was top tier cafeteria.
there's a lot of variety, so there's something for everyone.
Yep.
So here in the cafeteria, we use a catering company called Merriweather Godsey.
They're
and
so
the best thing
good.
about it is that there's a lot of variety, and we don't have the same thing within a 2-week period.
Another great thing about the cafeteria here at Oak Hill is that this is also our location for our annual spring formal, which is actually going to be, in the next few days, transformed into a masquerade ball theme.
True.
So here we are at the Alumni Campus Store. The campus store is located
So-
right outside the chapel
so the-
and right next to the school building.
So this is the campus store that I was talking about. This was like the main place. So I can't remember the exact times, but I believe this was open after school, directly after school. This was another place that you could go to talk to the opposite sex or your friends or whatever, unstructured. And I believe it was open. I think school was out at like 2:30 or 3, and you could be here till like 5, maybe. So you had a couple of hours or so. But this is where you could get ramen noodles. You could get, a bunch of things. Me personally, and my mom will also tell people this, I got care packages from my mom, which I was very thankful for and very lucky. And I use those care packages to barter for other things like money or shoes or whatever. So my mom would send me ramen noodles because, let's be honest, I know it's a campus store. But let's be honest, some of the stuff there was pretty expensive, like, listen, Oak Hill sponsored by Nike, so even like the clothes there, like this shirt he's got on, probably $30-$40 shirt. This sweatshirt she's got on is definitely at least $40-$50. And that's not saying anything bad. A lot of Nike stuff is expensive. That might be actually cheap for Nike. I don't know. But even the ramen noodles there, a package of ramen noodles was pretty I wouldn't say expensive, but it was, you know, more than what I was giving it out for. um, so I did sell a lot of my care package stuff. And maybe a lot of people at Oak Hill don't know that, but that's what I did. But anyway, I spend a lot of time here at the campus store as well.
So for the students, it's generally the social hub.
It's a great place to catch up with friends, play cards, grab a bite to eat before practice, and also there's a fire pit inside.
So that wasn't there when I was there.
Offers other necessities, such as Oak Hill apparel, toiletries, and even school supplies.
Yep.
As you can see, it's very homey in here, and there's also a lot of school spirit.
So they're gonna talk about this for sure, but there is, so this counter behind this young lady here wraps around, you know, if you think about it, it wraps around, so it forms like a line in front of the counter. And when alumni come back to Oak Hill, they sign that wall. So if I was ever to visit, hopefully, you know, they would let me sign it, but I don't know if I would ever go to back there or if I could. But yeah, a lot of stuff may be different in there now as well. Like, I don't remember, I mean, maybe they've always had this stuff, but I don't remember like that, like necessarily. They showed it for a brief second. Let's see if I can go back and find it. So this, I don't remember them having like a designated section for like Oak Hill apparel. Maybe they did. Like I said, my memory is kind of like off a little bit on some of the stuff, but they might have had this. I just didn't really notice it at the time. But as far as I remember, they had like stuff like on the back of the counter with like shirts and polos and hats and stuff.
For me, it's my favorite place to hang out with my friends on campus.
This is Fletcher Chapel, and it's very special to us
So
because you can see it's very homey in here, and there's also a lot of school spirit.
For me, it's my favorite place to
Yeah,
hang
so
out
they
with
didn't
my
talk
friends
about
on
the
campus.
wall, the alumni wall at all.
Chapel, and it's very special to us because every morning we hold homeroom here, and we also have
Homeroom.
other special activities.
There it is.
Like
That's what I was talking about
assembly,
before.
movie night, and the play. So let's go check it out. So this is the inside of Fletcher
That's the
Chapel.
inside there.
If you're a student here at Oak Hill, you remember it most for homeroom because we have assigned seats.
Yes, sir.
And today we just had baccalaureate.
Yes,
so we
ma'am.
also have a lot of special ceremonies that are held here. But we also have fun things like OHA Idol. One of the new additions here
Yeah,
on
so
campus.
OHA Idol is what it is, you know. Clearly it's American Idol, but at Oak Hill Academy. But they also have competitions like during Spirit Week. They have a strongman competition. They have other things. They also have what is it? Honor Society or whatever it's called there. To announce awards for that stuff.
This is the amphitheater.
The amphitheater is located right between the school building.
So this
and the
is something that
campus
wasn't
store.
there when I was there, so I can't really talk about
It's a
this.
great place for the theater department, music performances,
But it does look sick.
and also fire pit socials. So here we're at the English Academic Building, and this is where
Fire
all of our
pit
classes
social
are
would be
held throughout the
sick.
day.
In the school building, classes are usually about an average of 10 to 12 people, so they're very personal.
And we have
Yep.
7 periods a day.
So one tradition that we have here at Oak Hill Academy is that our head of school will reside here in the president's home.
Dr. Michael Groves and his family have lived here for the past 14 years
Yep.
and raised their family here. So now we're on the girls' side of campus, and this is Huff Dorm.
That being said, guys, off limits.
Yep. Stop clearly when you're shooting a YouTube
One
video.
of the best things about attending Oak Hill Academy are the amazing views. One of my favorite views is over
That is something I will say, is if you're into nature and views, Oak Hill Academy is the place for you. Also for other things as well, like if you're struggling academically, Oak Hill, like they said, average 10 to 14 students. You know, and I don't want this to turn into like, oh, send your kid or you go to Oak Hill, but it does have benefits to being that small of a class size. But also, these views are the most beautiful views I've ever seen in my life.
here on the girls' side of campus on the track.
At the girls' track, we do a variety of things, from lunches, afternoon picnics, to even equestrian shows put on the program. But don't worry, guys, we got our views too.
Also on the girls' side of campus is the Equestrian Center.
Equestrian is offered as a PE credit. We also offer trail rides after school on weekdays, almost daily. And we also have an equestrian team that shows horses for competition on the weekends.
One of the best views here on girls' side of campus is of Newcastle
This is
Park.
awesome. This
and
park
here there's
is
a
sick.
pavilion and a lake where we hold special activities.
Yeah,
on the
this is where like alumni weekend, I believe, they have like barbecues and shit here, and I've always wanted to go. I just never either had the time or the means to get down there. But one of these years, I will go down there.
weekends. Let's take a look. As you can see, here's
Yeah,
the lake.
this is
and we have
beautiful.
the beautiful North Carolina mountains in the background. And if you look really closely, you can see our fishing club doing their thing.
They didn't have fishing club when I was there, and if they did, I missed it.
So this is the Mississippi Pavilion, and this is the site of a lot of activities that we do throughout the year.
Yeah, this is
Like
where the barbecues
President's
are.
Picnic, the Harvest Festival,
President's
and we
Picnic,
also host
yeah.
a lot of socials here.
Yeah.
It's just one of the many great places on campus that we can gather together. So now I'm gonna send it over to Josh, and he's gonna tell you a few things about the guy side of campus.
So here we are on the guys' side of campus. On the guys'
There it
side,
is,
dorms are
Williamsbury
assigned by
Hall.
grade level. Behind me is Williamsbury Hall, my primarily senior dorm. So behind me is Fields Hall, primarily
Fields.
8th.
That was the name of the dorm I moved into. So this is the old dorm, I believe. I don't think this is when they renovated it yet or tore it down or whatever. But Fields Hall is where I moved in. This is more underclassmen.
and 9th grader dorm.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Fields Hall. Before it was renovated for dorm life, Fields actually used to be the original school building, so the rooms are massive.
Yeah, they're
So as you can see
huge.
behind me, upgrades continue on the boys' side of campus. Under construction currently, we have Speaks Hall, and then to my left, we have recently finished Dixon Hall.
All right, so that's why I didn't remember these, because these are new dorms that they added. So that's why they didn't look familiar to me.
Here, I want to show you Ingram Dormitory for 10th and 11th graders.
This dorm, so keep in mind this is an old school. Obviously, they've been around since the 1800s. This dorm sucks. Okay, and I'm sorry if anybody from Oak Hill is watching this, or if kids that are going there or potentially go there have to go here. This dorm sucks. The rooms are small. It's like a. Now I will say there's a lot of campus. College campus dorms are like this, but this dorm is the worst out of all the dorms at Oak Hill Academy for boys. I can't speak on the girls because, like I said, it was forbidden to go there, and I didn't go over there at all. But for boys, this is the worst dorm that you could stay in, and this is where juniors and sophomores stayed.
Ingram has 2 common areas and what honestly may be the best location for an outdoor basketball court in America.
Well, that's it for our brief.
Yeah, it's just too bad the court sucks unless it got renovated. This court was terrible.
It may be the best-
I mean, as you can see, hold on.
Dormitory for 10th and 11th graders. Ingram has 2 common areas.
Look at this friggin' giant ass crack. This is a crack. There's no nets on the hoops. The hoops are from probably 1800s. Like, this would be such a great spot. And listen, I know funds are, whatever. I don't pretend to know where the funds go from donations or tuition or anything like that. And I'll never get into that because I have no idea. And I'm not the type of person that's going to be like, oh, you got these millions in NBA revenue from athletes. Why don't they donate? Because a lot of them do. But also, they could donate for specific things. A lot of people just think that when they donate money, the school can do whatever they want with that or whatever. And most of the time, that's not the case. Like, a lot of donation money that not just Oak Hill gets, but other assets or other places of business. When somebody donates money, they can specifically say, hey, this is for, basketball jerseys, or which in this case, it might not be for that because they're sponsored, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they're allocated to different things. So even if, and I'm not saying he hasn't donated money to the school in general, but even if, like, say Carmelo Anthony was like, hey, here's, $25,000, but I want this to go towards like the busing for our team, or or TVs for our dorm or whatever. And those are just examples. I'm not saying that's what they are for or anything like that. Don't come after me, but that's what people have to understand when they think of like donations and like, why can't they just upgrade these things when they have athletes that make millions, as alumni. And quite frankly, they do have other successful alumni that are athletes. Clearly they're just not famous or well known or, in my realm of the world, but it is something to like think about that, like, they probably do get donations. It's just not allocated to renovating an outdoor basketball court or, whatever. Either way, though, this court is trash and it needs to be updated for the students of Ingram Hall. You give them a shitty dorm and a trash basketball court outside. View, though, is amazing, and at least the school is great.
And what honestly may be the best location for an outdoor basketball court in America.
Look at that.
Well, that's it
Look
for
at
our
that.
brief-
I'm sorry, but look at this, man.
Court in America.
What are we doing?
Well, that's it for our brief tour today.
Keep in mind, this video is 9 years old. I was there 14 years ago. They may have updated this, but I don't know.
Hey, we hope you've enjoyed it.
If you'd like to know more, please call our admissions office and schedule a live tour on campus. We'd love to see you.
All right. So this is not one I'm going to show. Just because I didn't plan on it. And it's 20-something minutes. Let's see. All right, so I'm not going to do the dorm life for the boys because we kind of already talked about that. I'll just going to do this basketball one. So this is Oak Hill Academy basketball. Really, this guy gets into the history, but also he shows a lot of the gym, which we haven't seen yet. So let's get into it. Excuse me.
Welcome to the most legendary campus in all of high school basketball. This place has produced more NBA players than any program in the entire world, including legends like Carmelo Anthony and Kevin Durant. So today we'll be touring all of their storied facilities, hanging out with some of their current stars, and meeting up with the school's president to find out how Oak Hill became
This is
an
the
NBA
new
basketball.
president.
I love when schools get the nice, big, bright.
This is the weight
artwork on the
room,
wall.
of course,
Beautiful.
obviously.
Yeah, man, we got everything we need. We got, this.
Now, sorry for pausing this video, but this did not look like this when I was there. This was probably this has been updated throughout the years. They had the, Nike symbol. They had a Jordan symbol on the other side. But as far as like the equipment, this TV, whatever you see, this has been completely updated and gutted since I was there.
It's a big area for auxiliary training, whatever free space that we need, the hallway,
this
road bike,
is all
also got
new.
the benches and
This was
everything.
so
Training
cluttered when I was
area
there.
is individualized to
Like,
the
this
actual
was to the
players.
point where, like, you
But
couldn't even
you guys are
fucking
testing
walk.
these guys
There's
right
so
when they
much
get here
fucking
for
shit
their
there when I was there.
athleticism, where their weaknesses are.
Yeah, so right when when they get here, we'll do a baseline test where we'll get their vertical, their bench press, how many chin-ups they can do, what's their broad
And we
jump.
didn't have an
And while we're
exact
doing that
strength and
assessment,
conditioning
we're also
coach. We had
doing a
fucking
visual
B-Rock.
assessment. Okay, this guy
Coach
has really
Brian
explosive
Marr,
motion.
best
This guy
fitness
doesn't
coach
have
in the
support
planet.
motion. This guy's really explosive. This guy's central nervous system looks like
He
spine
was also
fast.
our gym
So we try
teacher,
to
but
do
he
it so
was
the athlete can be the best
he
that
was
they
the
can be on
beast.
court.
You got the big Jordan logo here.
Big Jordan logo. It's no question where we do.
Is this for? This is just for basketball teams?
It's open to other teams, wrestling and volleyball and things like that, but mainly our basketball team is in here, and they're in here all throughout the day. So they're in
Yeah.
here during some of the school periods, and then even after school, you can walk over. It's a 5-minute walk from where you sleep, so it's always open for these guys.
How are these big dudes doing these pull-up bars?
Come over here. Look at this. So we've been updating it recently with with all the records from all the legends here at Oak Hill.
Damn.
From vertical, everybody loves the
Yeah,
vertical.
this is all updated. None of these are there.
Byron Jones.
Byron Jones, Big Byron, class of 03.
Oh, this is fun. Max verse right here. Cole Anthony. Jerry Stackhouse, 44.5. John Humphrey, 47.5. The helicopter's seemingly a proper nickname.
If you watch any of the old and1 mixtapes, the helicopter, that's him in all those old OG and1 mixtapes. John Humphrey, the OG helicopter, is flying.
That's inhumane.
Yeah.
Dwayne Bacon, 36 chin-ups. He does have those big, broad shoulders.
Big, strong, so he's grown.
Cody Martin, 34 now. His brother ain't up there? Doesn't run in the family?
I don't know. That boy's country strong though. Those Martin brothers, you hear stories about the Martin twins, and they was out here chasing animals, trying to trap animals, and they country boys at heart. So
Now, as you walk around this place, you will notice everywhere you go.
Hey, appreciate the follow. Hello, how are you? I have a problem with my headphones, so I can't hear you. Can you reply to me in chat? Much appreciated. Yeah. Let's see. Also appreciate the follow. All right, so where are we going with this? Weight room. So now they're gonna talk about the legends.
Pieces of basketball history. Like when you head into the varsity locker room, NBA champions just casually have their Instagrams in Sharpie on the seats.
yeah, some of the guys
Quinn
like
Cook.
in the pads, they
So
put their-
Quinn Cook is that's who this is. Quinn Cook is what's the star of the team when I was there. We graduated together.
Casually have their Instagrams in Sharpie on the seats.
Yeah, some of the guys like in the pads, they put their mark on it. Like Quinn Cook right here, he put his Instagram or Twitter, whatever it is.
AQ Cook 323.
Yeah, leave his mark. Leave his mark. Like Ty Lawson, Ty's locker. So like that's always gonna be right here. Ty Lawson, your legend.
Ty Lawson, that's not just any Ty.
Nah, that's Ty, the Ty. Ty Lawson. So yeah, hopefully one of these dudes can do something that make them worthy of putting their name in Sharpie. Yeah, it's not the glitz and glam, but it's like,
it's history.
Oak Hill is so much more than just a pro factory. Although this school is actually in the middle of nowhere, all they do is win. They've won 9 national championships and have so many trophies that they need an entire room just to house them. So now that y'all know all the winning that actually goes on here, let me introduce you to our secret plan. When you have alumni like Carmelo Anthony, Rondo, Kevin Durant, and looking at this mural, I could probably go on for about an hour.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like, consider Kevin Durant an alumni.
The winning that actually goes on here, let me introduce you
to our secret plan. And this isn't this guy's fault.
Rondo, Kevin Durant, and
like this isn't this guy's fault. So Oak Hill claims Kevin Durant. And this is one thing I have argued about for years. When I was there, Kevin Durant did not graduate from Oak Hill. I want to make that clear to everybody. He went there for a year, I believe, or a couple, but he did not graduate from there. But they claim him like he a graduate of the school. And I don't think they would have done that if he didn't blow up to be Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Rondo graduated, Carmelo graduated, but Kevin Durant did not. And I don't think, like I said before, I don't think if Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant that they bring him up at all.
looking at this mural, I could probably go on for about an hour. All come from the same place. The question is...
That being said, though, Kevin Durant did go to Oak Hill Academy. I want to make that clear. It's not like they're claiming that he went there and he didn't. He did go there. He did play on the team. He just did not graduate from there.
Always, who's the best player all time and how are they actually doing this? So today, I'll be infiltrating practice to see
Yeah,
how
when he
Oak
went
Hill
there, he
builds
wasn't
next
the
generation
Kevin
of NBA
Durant we think
stars.
of
And I'm
today.
gonna put the president of the entire school on the spot to see which.
So this guy is the new president of the school. And from all I've seen,
and I'm gonna put the president of the
right here. So this is the new president of the school. From all I've seen about him and of him, he's actually been around the team for a long time. And from what I've seen from him on social media, he's always advertising Oak Hill, like he loves Oak Hill Academy. So I'm excited for what the school has going forward. And what it's gonna look like and what the team's gonna look like. You know, obviously being an alumni, freaking, you know, I bleed Oak Hill, but yeah, I'm very interested to see what the school's gonna look like without Dr. Groves. As far as me personally, Oak Hill and Dr. Groves is all I know. Dr. Groves was the old president. So I'm interested to see what they're going to do. I like this guy from everything I've seen. Not that it really matters, but you know, I appreciate that he looks like he's all for Oak Hill and that he's been around the team for a while. I just like to think. So for me, Dr. Groves is more like, yes, we have a good basketball team, but also we have 10 to 14 students in a class. We're very good academically. Our teachers are very good. So I'm hoping, and I'm, you know, like I said, I haven't seen evidence that he's not, but I'm hoping that he doesn't just focus on basketball as a whole, because I feel like the greatness of the school, yes, basketball brings the attention to it, but I think the greatness of the school comes from the fact that it is so good academically to just get out of, you know, your normal life and just go to this place that's remote, that is beautiful, and that you can focus on yourself. And your craft. If you want to be an equestrian, like, you can go down to the horse barn every day if you wanted to. If you want to focus on basketball, you can go to the gym. You heard them. You can go work out. If you want to go, you know, focus on baseball, there's a baseball field. If you want to just focus on your school, like, that's what these small classes are for. And I hope he takes that, what Dr. Groves built, and what the people before Dr. Groves built, and he takes that and he just elevates it a little bit, because he does seem genuinely like he cares, not just about the basketball program, but about the students of Oak Hill. It's just he's so close connected to the basketball program. That being said, I think he's a great guy. He accepted my friend request on Facebook. I'm all for it. Appreciate what he's done so far, because I've been seeing a lot of these videos blow up. I like that he is accepting of YouTubers going there and really showing the school. Like I said, I'm just giving you my perspective of somebody that went there as a student, and just trying to, you know, feed through some of the bullshit that some schools or some people put out there about certain things. And so far I haven't found anything that's just massively outrageous. Like, it is so far the videos, and I know we just watched the tour and then the you know, the little virtual tour, but even like the students 9 years ago, they weren't talking about massive things that were outrageous, that I was like, you know, no, they're not even getting into the half of it. I will say they did leave out some things. You know, that being said, I think they left out a key thing, that I don't know if they still do, and they may do it, which is work detail. which from an outsider's perspective may look like child labor. But basically, instead of like detention or expulsion or maybe not expulsion but suspension because you live on campus, instead of those things you had work detail. Now work detail was you went with the dean of students, whoever that was, girl or boy, and you just did work. Plain and simple. I mean, it's pretty simple of what's in there. I had it a couple times there, and I remember going around picking up trash off the campus grounds or raking leaves or digging holes or something. I don't know. So they didn't mention that in the video. But that's an extreme thing. It's not like they're actively searching to give kids work detail. That's like if you misbehave, if you misbehave in public school, you get expelled or suspended or detention. They can't really do that here. They can do detention, but it's work details for me was because I skipped church a lot of times. So I would hide in closets and all this other stuff, but I didn't talk about that in the other video, and that's fine. But like I said, I hope this guy get back on track. I hope this guy brings more than just, hey, we're going to grow our basketball team and that's it, which I think he will.
Entire school on the spot to see which player was actually the best.
And clearly this video is going to be about the basketball program.
So best player when he was here, was unbelievable high school.
So I think it's time we go meet up with him now.
How we doing?
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Hill.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
to have you guys here. Welcome to Oak Hill Academy in the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. My name is Micah Kurtz. I'm the president of Oak Hill. Happy to have you guys here.
Awesome. Where should we start this tour off?
So right now you're right in the heart of campus. This is our main office, administrative buildings. So right in the heart of campus. Up that way is the female side. Residences are split between a female side of campus and a male side of campus. And then this kind of going down here as we walk through here. This is what we call, I guess, is Main Street right here. This crossing right here. All of our male residences are up here. Our international team dorm there, our red team dorm there, gold team down there, and then another dorm for our 8th and 9th graders. And then going this way, this is what we call Main Street right here.
It's a heartbeat right here. This is where the day starts?
This is where the day starts.
I've heard a lot since I've been here about the international team.
Yeah.
What's kind of the atmosphere like here for students being such a mixed pot from so many different places and backgrounds?
Yeah, it's such.
So that's something they didn't have when I was there. They didn't have a specific dorm for a red team, and I don't even think they had an international team. They did have a gold team dorm. Gold team is their national powerhouse team, that all the big names play on. Red team would be the equivalent to a varsity team at a public school, and they didn't have an international team. They just had JV.
It's such a melting pot. I mean, we have students.
Morning
from
assembly. This is
countries,
that building I was talking about. That's right behind them.
Really, obviously, everybody knows about Oak Hill from the basketball program, and so we want to continue to lean in and grow our basketball program while being able to impact students in an academic and life-wise as well. I like to think that Oak Hill basketball is probably the biggest high school basketball brand in the country, and so just continuing to grow that internationally and through the U.S. as well is something that's been great. This is probably one of the favorite spots on campus. This is a alumni store. So one of the cool things about it is whenever our alumni come back, they sign the wall in here. So this is the hangout spot after school. Obviously get the snacks, got all the Oak Hill gear, and then they can leave their mark and sign the wall.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So you got Richard Porter that was here in 1962, came back, signed the wall.
This is the wall I was talking you guys about.
Yeah, I mean, Oak Hill, it really has transformed over the years. I mean, it started in 1878, and it was really this area's first ever public school. It was the public school for this area, and then obviously it's transitioned into a high school boarding school. In the early 80s is when the president really wanted to make a push for us to be a national level basketball program, and So started with that, and Coach Smith came and really took it to the next level basketball-wise. But so everybody knows us basketball-wise, but I mean, it's really a place for students to maximize their potential.
As you can tell, Oak Hill has been dominating the basketball world since the 80s. And we're actually about to go meet some of these guys and learn how they build NBA stars. But I was still left wondering, how does a program so remote that the closest McDonald's is over 30 minutes away still convince top-level talent to come to their school? And well, lucky for us, we're about to go back to the athletic facility and learn their secret. Speaking of those athletes, looking at all the pictures, we got a signed photo of Brandon Jennings right here. Obviously, this place kind of out there, out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we drove from Pennsylvania through West Virginia, got on a highway, still had to drive another hour after we got off the highway. How do you convince, some of these top-level athletes to, make the choice to come out here? It's a big change for a lot of these guys. I know some of the players are from California, Florida. So what does that kind of look like? How do you get them out here?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say from the basketball perspective, I mean, through the legacy and the tradition, I mean, you see Josh Smith, the Brandon Jennings, Cam Thomas, now Cody and Caleb Martin, Cole Anthony. These guys have come through here 1, 2, 3 years. We talk about all you do is focus on books and basketball. If you want to get away from the distractions and just work on your body, work on your game, and work on your academics, there's no better place than Oak Hill for that.
He's spitting.
For sure. And the proof is in the pudding, where over 40 NBA players, over 200 Division I college basketball players. So this is where you can get away from distractions.
Just looking at the alumni.
Again, you see Kevin Durant's name on there, but
Coach Stoneman, head gold team basketball coach.
Looking at all these trophies over the years. I mean, we saw in the gym yesterday, 9
well, that's the coach that took over for the legendary Coach Steve Smith.
Legendary names on the walls. What, in your opinion, is the secret sauce here to pumping out? This has become like an NBA factory.
I'd say there's a lot. I mean, unbelievably dedicated coaching staff for sure.
They are.
Play against the best teams in the country. 10, 12 guys on your team that were the best players at their high school, and now you're practicing against them every single day. So those guys that are making that sacrifice just to become better and set themselves up to be successful at the next level for sure.
Mindset. It's a mindset thing here. We love it. Now that we know the secret sauce, I still want to understand what life was really like here on the Hill. So before we put the president on the spot for who's the greatest
I was never at that level
that
he's talking about.
He showed us what life was really like as a student here at Oak Hill. So it's like, this is the craziest view I've seen at any high school ever. We are like really in the Appalachian Mountains. Like, there are no buildings for as far as you can see, besides what I'm assuming is actually attached here to the school.
Exactly.
But like, it's like rolling hills. The scenery is it's gorgeous, man. This is unlike any program we've seen so far.
Yeah, the scenery out here is something that you can really appreciate. Like, if you're not usually used to this, which I'm not, I'm from Florida, so when I came out here and to be able to work in a scenery like this, it's like working in like a Hallmark movie or something. Like, I mean, it is really cool to be out here and experience something like this,
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
We're driving here,
it's beautiful.
There are probably 100,000 Christmas trees being grown around
that's what I was talking about. Nothing but Christmas trees and
the start of a Christmas tree farm. There are hundreds of thousands of Christmas trees out here. It's very jolly. Very jolly in here.
Yeah, so
when it snows
many.
Here, we got this giant hill right here. They'll just pop a sled and just, that's the only bad part is getting back up it. But I mean, that's like to X Games.
So this is the one thing I didn't do. Like, a lot of kids, like he was saying, he's from Florida. A lot of kids from California. We had a lot of kids from overseas, like in Korea and China and all these other places. A lot of kids that didn't see snow. So he is right that they would put a sled down there and slide down. Me being from the Northeast, I didn't do that because I hate snow. I hated it back then. I hate it now. So as a kid going to Virginia, I was like, where's the warm weather? We had a couple of bad storms. But yeah, anytime it snowed, all the kids were so excited, and I was just like, this sucks. There was one other person from Massachusetts. When I went there my senior year, not my junior year, my senior year, named Melody, and we would talk about this all the time. Where like I hated snow so much, and I don't know if she was on the same boat. I think she enjoyed the beauty of the snow, but I stayed inside when it was cold.
Bro, you were, that's Olympics.
But yeah, a lot of kids did slide down there.
More Christmas trees as far as you can see.
Yeah.
Yo, it's so quiet here. Everything is so like, it's just calm.
Yeah.
Got me thinking about life and stuff. Crazy, man, crazy.
So 6 p.m. here. Obviously the sun's going down.
Yeah.
What do we got?
Fletcher
for dinner
Chapel,
tonight?
that's what
Looks
it's
like
called.
it's 6 o'clock, so that means it's time to go eat. You go into the cafeteria
Yep.
and you find out what they made. It's usually always good. And
Yeah, it's
we
so
sit down
good.
and enjoy dinner. It's a little relaxed time.
There's no other restaurant.
Man,
so
I miss their
can we
food.
join y'all for dinner tonight?
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Turn them off, except if you're watching All Hail the
Man, look at that.
Oakhill Food Hall, my number one. We're very good.
Good, bro.
Good. What's a normal meals kind of look like?
The meals is different, like every time. Like tonight, fajitas is Mexican style, so tomorrow's probably gonna be something Italian or American. Like the food is always switching up. Like you never be like, we just had
Yeah,
this. Why
that's
we doing this?
accurate.
Like it's always switching.
I know it's not dessert time yet.
No
we
Elio's
gotta try
pizza
our
there.
cameras out. Banana pudding. And that'll do.
Valid.
That'll do.
Life at Oak Hill here is extremely regulated. Students aren't allowed to use their phones throughout the school day or at dinner. Everyone's
Yeah.
on the same schedule. They wear uniforms. They have morning homeroom daily. But that is exactly
nothing
what
really
makes Oak Hill
changed.
special. See, out here in the mountains, everyone is forced to be a part of the community and interact with one another. You see that in class as well. Even the gold level basketball players are taking high level academic courses. They have very personal classes with sizes ranging between 5 to 9 kids. I mean, we
Most of them. I will say there's some outliers there. Like when I was there, we had a kid that got like a 40 or something on his math final, and that was with a 10-point curve, and they let him retake it. But I will say a lot of them do put in the academics, and they are very intelligent. But you know, a lot of them. Not that they're not intelligent, but a lot of them, you know, get moved through just like any other high school or any other athlete, or, you know, famous person or whatever. They get pushed through the system because they're good at what they do and they just don't care about academics. Now that may have changed, but a lot of times I would be in classes with these guys and they would just fuck around. And I'm not saying the majority of the teachers, you know, pushed them through or gave them passes, but a lot of them did. And that being said, there was one teacher that was there for 30 something years when I was there. She just recently retired. I hope she's doing well. Her name was Miss Bonham. She did not give 2 fucks. Whether you were a gold team basketball player, you were number 1 kid in the country, whatever, or you were me, or you were, you know, a nobody. She taught you the same way. She expected the same standard out of you, and people knew that. But she cared dearly about her students. And like I said, I hope she's having a great retirement. Yeah, but a lot of times I did see athletes get pushed through that didn't necessarily deserve it, but you know, that's just the culture we were in at the time. You know, we've also seen, and this is still true to the day, probably, a lot of people don't deserve to go to high-level academic colleges, but they go because they're good at a sport, and that's just the fact of life. So take that with a grain of salt, but I have seen it with my own eyes. A specific student comes to my mind. I just don't want to say his name, but yeah, he got pushed through, and he was able to go on to a good college, get good education that I was not able to receive because of his athletic ability. And I think that's missed on this. And like I said, that may be an outlier. A lot of these guys did put academics not necessarily first, but they did take them seriously. And they, you know, did good. But some of them didn't. So I don't want people to think like Oak Hill's just an outlier in the fact that like, oh, all these athletes are geniuses, and they're not.
We saw hoopers learning about tectonic plates and wrestling coaches teaching students art. This place really is special, and you can tell just by walking around. But now it's time to go check in on the gold team.
So we didn't
dorm
have a
to see where
wrestling
the
team when I
future
was
of the NBA spends most of their time.
All right, dinner here at Oak Hill, pretty good. It's time to go check out where these guys stay. You think we can go peep in the dorms a little bit, see what the action is?
Yeah, man, let's go check it out. These kids will give you access.
Yes, sir.
So this is it. It's the Gold Team. It's the front door.
Oh, you got Coach staying right here?
Coach Mike Lee right here. He's a resident manager, so he makes sure they're taken care of. They day-to-day stuff, if they need anything personally or with their life, whatever they need, Coach Mike take care of them. Right here is where we got some kids that stay.
Who's back? It's a Gold Team dorm, baby.
I go by Marco. That's
no pressure out here. You got people watching.
First time, first time. Meet DeMarco Johnson. So this is my room for real. I got 2 beds, 2 refrigerators, so TVs, because they don't use it. I got a monitor. I eat right there. I do a lot of stuff right here.
Good spot. It's a good spot. You got a lot of space.
Yeah.
You got a lot of books.
I do.
You get some done in the classroom. On and off.
Yep.
You ain't know about this?
Yep.
All right, I gotta put this in. He like, I was watching the clips on Instagram earlier today. He was jumping out of the gym in Hawaii.
Hawaii's good. I was born there, so
you had to.
You had to.
I like the board.
It's boring. I got no lights.
He's just here to hoop.
I get some lights though. What's up, y'all? I'm DeAndre Lindsay, Knoxville, Tennessee. That's where I'm from.
The best part of Oak Hill for you so far?
I feel like it's just strictly basketball, really. So it's enough for me to just get better. Only thing you can really do,
We're doing in a couple of weeks. I'm doing the #1 school in Alaska.
Alaska.
I'm from Florida. I don't know what to do up there. Like, I thought it was cool here. So, I appreciate you, bro.
No, for sure.
You got some big beds.
Yeah, this is 2 beds, just like his in Africa.
Yeah, no problem.
Infamous Ethan Mbako room, playing station, something calm, some lights.
Green lights over here, posters,
comp anime, got the game, family, study station, of course got the positive minds. And then, I'm really a barber on the low.
Is he good?
I really be cutting hair. I got all the stuff here. It's a little messy. Just finished some hair. Domino's, best icebreaker game ever.
Is there no barbershops around here? I'm guessing. So they gotta come through you. They got no choice. They gotta need somebody out here.
They was really my test dummies at first.
Oh boy.
Like, cause I never cut hair before the real. And then I just started trying, and I got better.
Yeah.
So then, calm little side hustle.
Did you charge them?
Nah, I can't charge the team.
You gonna open up one day, charge some of these students out here?
Nah, I'm weak.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer, bro. That's the right answer. Appreciate it. Just got down, dude. I'm sorry. I just screwed him over, bro. He just got down.
I'm Howard Woods, Oak Hill, sophomore, class 227. It's my clothes and stuff, shoes up there.
What's the best one? What's your favorite pair?
Jordans to hooping?
Yeah.
These.
Tatum?
Yeah, I'm finna hoop it on them. I don't like them.
Yeah, good shoes. So this is one thing that not all the school gets, but a lot of the teams do, is we're sponsored by Jordan and Nike. So they get a lot of these shoes for free. Like he just had the Tatums, and I was just showing all the other shoes.
Every week, Sabrina's? Yeah, I like those. But we just screwed up this whole round, bro. I feel bad. What can we expect from you in Massachusetts? You one of the youngest on the team. Like, what can still out here, man?
Double.
First, double. I'm gonna clip
That did not happen.
Double.
I bet.
It'll be right here, and then it'll be double. These guys don't realize, they all say the room is boring, is that 99% of the people watching at home are in high school and don't live in a dormitory with all their teammates and their friends right next door to each other. Like, just be able to be messing around in the hallway like that. Like, it's a different ball game out here. So I think that's what makes it cool.
Yeah, and they're making memories. Like, they don't even realize, like, they're making memories. Like, they're gonna go back and be like, man,
no, that's true. Yeah.
And, like, those nights where we
like I said, 14 years later, looking back at it, like I miss a lot of those interactions and a lot of those people that I met there.
We was just messing with each other. Like, those would be some of the best moments that they'll remember.
Bro, I hated living in a dorm, but now, out of it, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind going back for a few months, hang out with the boys a little bit.
Yeah, dorm life may be fun here, but practice is no joke. See, these guys were up and early the very...
This is the best coach in the country. This is Brian Marr, a.k.a. B-Rock, I used to call him. He was our gym teacher / strength coach when I was there with the team, and he's still going strong. He's a great guy, great person. He, if you saw me now, he would call me fat, but that's out of love. Man, if I could go down there and have him train me, I would. He's a great guy, great coach, excellent shooter. I believe he still has a 3-point record at his old college, in Buffalo, I believe, or somewhere in New York. But anyway, he was great. He's still down there doing it, and he's been a part of a lot of winning teams. He knows a lot of athletes and a lot of big time ball players, and he's, like I said, he's just a great person to be around.
Very next day, and watching them go, I finally began to realize what makes Oak
The most hype person I've ever met in my life.
Hill the leader in NBA production. This is a Jordan school, so what do they got on feet here? Everyone's got Tatum's on?
Yeah, everybody got Tatum's. You see we got Marco got the Jordan 11s on. Jordan is what we wear. Now we just put a lot of emphasis on details. Like we usually use our Nike Elite balls, but the tournament we're playing in this weekend is going to be using the Spalding ball, so that's what we're going to practice with this week to get ready. So
we're playing at the Naismith Hall of Fame. We'll be there. See, after watching practice and being on campus for a few days, I think I finally know what actually makes this place different. See, this team right now, it's not loaded with 5-star talent like a lot of schools that we've been to. Yeah, they've got some great players, but what makes this place special is they're in a concrete gym right now. They're in the middle of absolutely nowhere. There's more Christmas trees here than people. These guys are locked in the gym 24/7, living together as a team and making this thing happen. What I've heard from every person here right now is this is a stepping stone, and every kid here knows it. This is not the nicest facility you're gonna see, but what they do have is an attitude for greatness, and that's how they keep churning out NBA player after NBA player. So I think now that we finally got our answer, it's time to go back and meet up with Prez again and figure out who the best player NBA player. So I think now that
this wall behind him right here, this banner, just keeps growing and growing. These are all Oak Hill All-Americans. So anybody that's been a McDonald's All-American in high school goes on this wall. And it just keeps growing and growing. But you can see throughout the years, like how, like these don't change. They don't like change them out. They don't like, you know, get new ones and just update it. Like they just add new ones to the bottom. So you can see like the top and how long they've been just successful, of how like raggedy this is. And then these are newer guys down here.
we finally got our answer, it's time to go back and meet up with Prez again and figure out who the best player on this wall actually is. A big emphasis since you took over as president here.
Now, if he's smart, he won't say anybody.
To not have this just be a historic memory. Oh, wow.
Like he won't say a specific name if he's smart, because there's a lot of good players that went there. And if we're strictly talking about high school, that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, so from the basketball perspective, I mean, we're just going to...
So clearly, if you're asked this question from outside, you're going to say Carmelo Anthony because he's the most famous, most well-known. From inside Oak Hill, you have to think of other players as they were high schoolers. So Brandon Jennings, he's an all-time league scorer, I believe. Or sorry, he was. I believe somebody topped him, though. They might talk about it. But he, you know, he scored 55 consistently. When I was there, my junior year, Deron Lamb was scoring 50s. You know, my senior year, we obviously had Quentin Cook. You know, you had Josh Smith, you had Rajon Rondo. So you have to think about that when you're asked this question. So a lot of Oak Hill people won't specifically say a name because there were a lot of good ones. Jerry Stackhouse was really good at Oak Hill. You know, Rod Strickland.
We're going to continue to...
So we're going to see what he says. I hope he doesn't say anybody.
We're looking to add a second gymnasium for more access to the gym. Just to continue to get our
Stephen Jackson, I forgot about him. That's Brandon Jennings next to him.
Continue to come back and give back. And from other areas like we talked about, we're going to add very, very high-level soccer.
There's so many good players that you just don't know.
Partnered with colleges for dual enrollment.
Awesome.
So there's something for
That's
everybody.
awesome that he did that as well.
Final question first off. Just thank you so much for letting us be out here.
Great to have you guys here.
Final question we always end with. put everybody on the spot a little bit.
Yeah.
Best player to come through Oak Hill.
Oh, geez.
Not NBA career, not NBA career, high school career here.
With Oak Hill?
That's a good way to ask the question.
It's a loaded, touchy subject for sure.
Yeah.
You don't want to get the alumni mad. So best player when he was here, I mean, Brandon Jennings was an unbelievable high school player. Josh Smith was unbelievably dominant high school player.
Yeah.
Cam Thomas is the all-time leading scorer. I mean,
all right, so Cam Thomas broke his record.
And then we're not even talking about Jerry Stackhouse, Ron Mercer, and those guys from
Mercer.
my time. And I don't think you can name one for sure. You can't name one.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you so much.
It's smart.
Pleasure.
Smart that he named a bunch of people, and that's that I can't name
for
one.
inviting us out. And if you guys want to see your name here in the end credits on the next video, make sure you comment all.
So overall, this was a very good video. Clearly, he knows what he's doing. Obviously, he's got 272 followers or subscribers, but yeah, it's just something different I wanted to do today. Talk about my experience there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be live again here soon for some just gameplay. I don't know what I want to play, if anything, but yeah, I appreciate anybody who stopped by. Bruce, thanks for stopping in first thing. And appreciate the follow. Alira, I hope I'm saying that right. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm gonna go have lunch with my girlfriend now. And appreciate it. Peace.
Hop off the porch, now I'm in it. Say my goodbyes, I'll be gone till I'm finished. I could do a mile in a minute, mile in a minute. Watch me do a mile in a minute, mile in a minute. Watch me do a mile in a minute, mile in a minute.